the Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy, you're invited.
Shalom, 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 shalom. Hold tight. Hold tight. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Blessing. Elder Rawchaa here. Blessings, blessings to my brothers and sisters throughout the four corners of the earth, of the earth. Blessings. Let me make sure you all can see and hear me real quick before I dive into a few of these announcements. And y'all can see me, no problem, right? Blessings. Before I go into the announcements, let me just say the Hebrew and Bible Academy has been off the chains. We're going into week 5, but if you enroll, we'll make sure you'll get the 4 weeks missed, and there's still 2 months of serious information. That's right, folks. Revelation. Mysteries of the spiritual realm. Anybody in the academy will tell you there's nothing like it on earth when it comes to news, Hebrew, and breaking down the word of the Most High. In this type of setting, the most fun you'll ever have, learning. And at the same time, you'll be helping the work so that we can bring the gospel throughout the four corners of the earth. Revelation, the spiritual realm. Go to historytimes.org to enroll. We've just begun. That's right. Speaking of that, before I make my announcements, as you can see, since we've been talking about this before YouTube, the UK is about to launch what we've been telling you all for years, even before YouTube, the system for the mark of the beast. That's right. The system for the mark of the beast. Let me put it here for you. UK Prime Minister to announce plans for digital ID. The whole thing keeping people home, a disease scare. Folks, it was just to change the grid for the New World Order's mark of the beast system. That was the key reason they needed all the corporations to shut down their businesses at one time to bring on the mark of the beast grid. Okay. Subsequent to that, immigrants. The immigrants was put in place so that they can now have an excuse to claim they need to identify people, not knowing who's a citizen. But the identification wouldn't be put in for immigrants. See? That's right, folks. It was for identifying the citizenry of all the countries and to put all countries under the mark of the beast system. And at the end of this, you heard it here, not your cell phones. A chip inside you. A chip inside the people who compulsory, they're going to make it compulsory. Whoever get it is going to be linked directly to the spirit of Satan. Right? So they're one more step away, and I need y'all to hear this. I'm not going to be on long. Listen to this.
Sir Keir Starmer is expected to announce plans for a digital ID scheme which will be compulsory in order to work in the UK. The government says it will take aspects of...
You heard it right. Compulsory. Trying to make it seem as if it was voluntary, right? In order for you to work in the UK, now we all know UK is usually the beta test subjects that they call citizens that they test on before rolling things out in the United States. Australia and UK are usually the beta tests. Listen to this.
Similar initiatives in other countries, including... Sir Keir Starmer is expected to announce plans for a digital ID scheme which will be compulsory in order to work in the UK. The government says it will take aspects of similar initiatives in other countries, including Australia, where digital ID is used to access private services, Estonia, where it's used to access children's records, and Denmark, where students can store information about their education. Also India, where it's claimed a similar system has saved billions of dollars in fraud. Civil liberty groups and opposition parties have raised concerns about privacy and say the measure won't stop people coming into Britain illegally. Well, speaking on the Today programme earlier on...
Now, they could care less about illegals, who they call illegals, folks. They could care less about them. They'd rather have the illegals than their citizens, because at least illegals would have something hanging over their head to stay in the country. So all this to stop illegals when they put them up in hotels and everything. Folks, read between the lines and see exactly what's going on here. They're saying they want to do this so that they can identify illegals. When the liberals need illegals to become their new voting bloc. Okay? So, believe it or not, politically, illegals is the one-size-fit-all for the New World Order's technology they're putting in place. They're going to always blame it on someone else because the citizens who live in the country don't like when the politicians are pointing the finger at them. So we'll just say all of what we implement into affect you is because of someone else.
On Radio 4, the Culture Secretary Lisa Nandy clarified how the system would work.
From the end of this Parliament, every person in the UK will have a digital ID.
Satanist.
And if you want to work in the UK, you'll be required to show proof of that through your digital ID. We think that's better for employers because at the moment it's far easier to fake papers. We think it's easier for them to be able to check that and know that what they're looking at is correct. And of course, there are huge fines. You can even face a jail sentence if you employ someone illegally here in the UK. So we think it offers protection for them, and it also enables us to make sure that anyone who comes to this country who is working is doing so legally.
I want to get...
Now, that's the Hegelian dialectic. Problem, reaction, solution. The employers are going to do this. Is going to make it compulsory. For those who don't know the United States, compulsory means, of course, you would know this, but I wanted to say that because I've been to the UK, they use certain words. Usually we say instead of compulsory, okay, that it isn't mandatory. It's going to be voluntary. Like they're not forcing you to do it. But wasn't the vaccine compulsory? Voluntary? They didn't force anyone to do that either. But the employers didn't make life easy if you chose to disagree with it. It's almost as if they were pressuring people out the door if they didn't go follow the protocol from the employer. So when they say it's compulsory or voluntary, what they leave out is the pressure they put on people, the fear of you losing your job. So when you hear about compulsory, it's not like you can say no and people will leave you alone, okay? It's the same compulsory or voluntary that people were trying to tell those who was working at the time during the so-called pandemic, okay? So again, what is this? They put it in place. Don't forget, folks, this digital ID isn't just for work, okay? It's going to make it where all your information on a database can be held in one place. Your medical records, your bank accounts, on and on and on. But this is the first step, real time, in them rolling it out. And believe it or not, we just heard not too long ago them talking about something with the real ID in the United States. But this is going to be the real ID on steroids, folks. They're just going along with it. And they're going to blame it on, we have to identify the people we let in.
Clarity, if I can, about whether this is compulsory. Now, you've just said something important. Every person in the UK will have a digital ID. Are you saying, whether you like it or not, you will have an identity that the government has for you on a database, but you will have a choice as to whether you actually have that on your mobile phone?
Yes, I think that's broadly right. So every single person will have a digital ID and they'll have to have a digital ID, but they won't be required to use it on a daily basis. This is not like an ID card where you would be asked to show it as you're moving around. Many of the listeners will have been to other countries where you're required to carry an ID card at all times. That's not what we're proposing. It's not a card, it's a digital.
Yeah, they're saying it's not compulsory. Yeah.
ID,
but someone could
won't
turn
be
up
required
at your
to have
factory
it on your phone or carry it around.
Forgive me, but someone could turn up at a factory or an office and say, prove that you have a right to work here. Prove, in other words, that you have a digital ID. That would be effectively compulsory for all workers.
Well, at the moment, somebody could turn up at a factory or a workplace and ask for checks to make sure that everybody who was there had the right to work in the UK. You wouldn't be required to have that with you at the time, but you would be required to have a digital ID and be able to produce that.
That's why I'm puzzled, you see. There are lots of arguments for digital ID, which are nothing to do with migration. For convenience, lots of countries like Estonia, India, all sorts of countries introduce them, save people time. They save people carrying papers around with them or digging around. But that's not the government's argument.
That's not really a problem. People don't mind. We've been used to carrying papers around in our wallets since the inception of wallets. That's not an inconvenience. A matter of fact, personally, I love stylish wallets, okay? A wallet with a nice style, nice branded leather. We never had a problem with that.
The government's argument's migration. You can be asked to show your papers now in a factory or in a workplace, or to go and find them. So what on earth difference is this going to make?
Well, first of all, it's a much more rigid system. At the moment, for example, you show you give your national insurance number to prove that you have the right to work in the UK. That's not linked to any kind of photo ID or anything else. So it's far easier to pass off somebody else's national insurance number as your own. We've seen a rise in the amount of identity theft and fraud, people losing documents only then to find that somebody else has taken over their identity. And,
someone can steal your identity from your phone. There's technology where someone can walk past your phone and clone it and take information.
Many constituents who get...
And that's what they're going to say the next time, which will be what? The reason people will need to get the chip in them. They're going to take one step at a time. The first step is to say, Your wallet is an inconvenience. The next will be your phone is the inconvenience. So get the chip in you. See how it's going? And don't trust this woman, okay? Now, I'm going to go into this in greater detail this coming Wednesday. But, of course, I had to bring out the Bible to confirm everything the Most High said is right on point. The mark of the beast, where what? Revelation 13, 16. And he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. When it says he, we're not looking for one man to stand up as an antichrist. Obviously. Okay? Is one man telling you is offering the real ID or the digital ID? It's speaking of the Roman Empire. America is an extension of that empire. Satan rules through these empires. Satan is the Antichrist. Okay? So the he is Satan, who's going to utilize banks to bring everyone into the system for the mark of the beast. So you will not be able to work anything. You will not be able to go to shelters. You will not be able to do anything without what? Without complying. That's why it says small and great, rich or poor. If you're poor, you're still going to need help. Well, in order to get that help, you're going to have to take the mark of the beast. Free or bind, that means whether you're walking free or locked up, this is how they would track everyone, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. See? Neuralink. You can get it in your hand or in your foreheads, and there'll be options to get it. Hospital, doctor's offices, clinics, pharmacies, and even supermarkets and tattoo parlors. You'll also have independent contractors who will come to people's homes, like nurse care help, to come do it if you cannot get outside. Like people have come accustomed to having nurses come to the home. Well, they're going to come with it. And if you sign the papers in order to get your finances and all that, your Social Security, you're going to have to get this particular chip. And God, the Most High God, the God of the Hebrews, through the Spirit of Christ, revealed this to John, one of the disciples who was exiled to the island of Patmos almost nearly 2,000 years ago. We're here, we're living it. And then it's going to be linked to your spending. That's why they moved everything to Amazon. And that no man may buy or sell, save except he that have the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And that number goes directly back to Satan. 666, inverted star, Moloch, child sacrifice. And the people also who are behind it are those who have that particular symbol on their flag. Huh? All right. We're here. So make sure you all hold tight. Stay prayed up, brothers and sisters. Stay connected with the body of Christ. It's going down. That's going to be the beta test. Now, some people are going to push back the citizenry, but I'm going to tell you how it's going to go. The way it's going to go is the only way to get people on board who would normally resist would be if something catastrophic happens on the level of September 11, 2001. Or if Rome, through Israel, the proxy through Rome that's staying in Israel right now, if they decide to strike Iran, there will be no need for false flags going forward. The retaliation that Iran will rain down in all these areas and all these countries we've been accustomed to traveling to will lead to, that's right, each government is going to have to implement some level of measures, stringent measures that the citizenry will not push back against for protection. So in order to travel and all that, if there's a catastrophe, they'll easily be able to roll this out because the people will be behind it. The people will do anything for military protection. So keep our eye on Iran, folks, because that will be one of the reasons where there'll be no pushbacks throughout any government going forward. They will tell you, just like they did during the virus, now we're in a state of an emergency. None of your states, none of your cities will get any financing outside of the emergency funds during war. So your government will have to shut down unless you take the money through the emergency package. But in order for you to get the emergency package to fund your government, your citizens must take the mark of the beast. The same way they was holding finances unless a certain number of people get vaccinated during COVID. That's how it's going to go down. You heard it here. We've been reporting this on the streets before YouTube ever existed, and now we're living it. But one thing that's great about this, brothers and sisters, the Most High, Christ, angels, the invisible are on our side. But we must stand with him. We must do what's right according to the Most High. We must love each other. We must care for each other. We must keep his commandments. We must stay prayed up and link directly to the Father, because he's doing all this, eventually allowing it to go down so that he can save us through it. It's time. That's right. It's time. All right. Now, let me make the announcements real quick, and then I'll wish you Godspeed until Wednesday. As you can see, that was my Mark of the Beast update. And yes, I will be visiting many areas. Look at my announcement Saturday, and I'll tell you all the areas that I will be visiting. We will be visiting this year, seeing that everything is speeding up. Almost every day a prophecy is going down, and it's time for me to get to all these places, lock down churches, set up churches, and while there's opportunity for people to come in preparation for what's about to go down. Speaking of that, I have great news for GOCC St. Louis. Here's the great news. If you have been a part of the church and been listening to us for years through St. Louis, there's no gathering place to learn right now in St. Louis. Here's the good news. You can continue to watch us here online. We're in talks for a building for all of those in St. Louis, new teachers, myself, Ramar, and Bishop, well, not Bishop yet, but Deacon Malak from Houston, Elder Lawya. We're going to come down into GOCC St. Louis in our talks, and you'll be able to learn directly under the elders and teachers of the church. Right now, there is no established authority in St. Louis. There is no deacons, officers, or anything there. We're coming to set it up. We're in talks for a new building. Now, if you would like to be a part of this in St. Louis, to put your hand to the plow. Number one, continue to follow us here at home until we get to you. We're trying to get there this week or the week afterwards. Stay home and follow us. And if you have any questions and want to come and put your hand to the plow, here is the email. Send the email to us if you live in St. Louis or the surrounding areas. Here's the only two ways to contact the Gathering of Christ Church from St. Louis, if you are a part of the St. Louis demographic there. The new email is GOCC St. Louis. It's spelled all the way out, St. Louis. GOCC St. Louis 144 at gmail.com. Y'all got it? GOCC St. Louis 144 at gmail.com. There is no gatherings going forward until we come there to St. Louis, but we're in talks for a brand new building, and I'm excited to see where this goes. Anytime we do this, like we did in Houston, we did it in Georgia, it ends out where there's no room to hold the people, and eventually it leads to us needing a bigger space. All right? So it's time for St. Louis to thrive. And we're coming there to help it do exactly that while there's still time. GOCC South St. Louis at gmail.com if you would like to participate within the body of Christ there and grow with us. That's number one. How you doing, son? Number two, here is the phone number if you have any questions. 215-948-4. Can I show the pic? I don't know if I can show it, Shawan. Let me see if I can show it here. Hold on, Shawan. Let me see if I can show it here. Because, let's see. Let me see if I can show it, Shawan, because it seems like, you know, with these Apple phones and all, I try to connect, but my messages don't come up on this computer sometimes. So let me see. Shawan. I'm going to see if I can show it. Oh, yeah, I can show it. Cool. Thank you, Shawan. I can actually show it. Praise the Most High. This makes it so much easier. Boom, there it is. Praise the Most High. Thank you, Shawan. I'm getting this technology now. Here it is right here. Thank you, Shawan. There is no gatherings in St. Louis. There is no authority there. There's no deacons. There's no nothing there, okay? We have some new brothers that we are appointing deacons and officers when we come down there, okay? So if you've ever learned from us and we suggested that you go anywhere in that area, go back home and learn from us through YouTube. We got new leaders, including Elder Rawchaa, who's going to be key in getting that place together so that we can get as many people to come to the Most High in St. Louis as possible. We're going to hit those streets and all of that, and I need you to be a part of that with the elders, okay? Here is, so there is no Sabbath gatherings. There is no gatherings in St. Louis until the announcement we make on the new building. There is no association. Everything comes through me, All right. If you have any questions, go to GOCC St Louis 144, our email at gmail.com. I'm excited about what St. Louis is about to become. GOCC St. Louis 144 at gmail.com. Now, send an email if you'd like to be a part of this gathering. I know y'all been waiting for things to really grow up there and do things, but here it comes. Phone number 215-948-4313. That's 215-948-4313. Call. Let us know that you want to be a part of it when I come there, when the brothers come there to set it up. And when it comes to the administration, if you have certain gifts and talents you would like to contribute to the work, now is your time. Okay? So there's nothing going on over in St. Louis until we get finished with this building, and everything will be directed from me personally. If it's not me, it's not happening. All right? GOCC St. Louis 144 at gmail.com, or call 215-948-4313. Get involved. I can't wait to see you all there. All right? All right. Blessings. Now, if you have any questions, again, I'm going to leave that on the screen. Y'all can write it down. But there is no gatherings going forward at all in St. Louis. If you've been following us and respected the work that you've gotten here from the beginning, stay at home and do it online and let us go there to set it up for you, okay? And we'll tell you how to support us from that way. All right? GOCC St. Louis 144 at gmail.com. All right? Now, last but not least, folks. Last but not least. Do y'all remember years ago I was over in the UK, and each week, Gaja, before the Most High called him to the work, believe it or not, he was a part of the conscious community, didn't believe in the Bible. Each week, Gaja would try to find someone that could actually come against what we were bringing in Manchester. So Gaja wasn't on our side initially. He was against the work. So each week, he would try to find new debaters to come against little old Rawchaa teaching the word, and we were knocking them down like dominoes. Christians, Egyptologists, Muslims, Nuwabic, you name it, rabbis. I'm like, where's this guy getting these people from? I'm like, he says, no, I'm going to get somebody. And at the end, I told Gaja, brother, it's not going to happen. We are the children of God, and these prophecies will unfold. There's a reason why you can't get anyone to truly contend with what's being brought here into Manchester. Why? Because it's merely the truth. It's merely the truth. And the only thing we were doing through the Spirit of the Most High in Christ was exposing the lies and proving and breaking down the fact that these radio shows was set up, this fake empowerment, to make people believe in our neighborhoods that there was some serious progress going on amongst us. They're only set up to give us the optics of progress. But everybody's arguing and debating with one another, showing you how confused we are. Everybody's arguing, trying to figure out who's right and who's wrong. No other people have all these different infighting debates amongst each other, even if they believe differently. Because self-preservation for their nation becomes key point number one. So these radio stations were set up so that we can fight one another, so that the Gentiles and the other nations, the synagogues and others, can look at us and say, look how confused they are. Look how confused they are, arguing about who's right or wrong, when these people are the children of God. And the only way back is to go back to the God who cursed them for disobedience. Every other race understands this except us. So what I'm going to do for y'all tonight, and eventually, you know, Rawchaa, he went through all his struggles with Peace FM, and he went through the transition from being in the conscious community, trying to figure out what it is to walk straight and follow the Most High. And now the Most High have blessed him to understand that this was the truth. And it was the Most High that we met one another, even though we were on either side of the so-called debate or conflict. He was on the conscious community side. The conscious community, knowingly or unknowingly, are Satanists, witches, and or warlocks. Period. Either you're on that side or you're on Christ's side. And guess what? We went to Manchester and gave them a whipping with the Bible. And I'm going to tell you, England has never been the same since. Well, tonight we have a treat for you all. At 8 p.m., there will be a premiere. GOCC Classic. Elder Rawchaa deals with the truth about Christopher Columbus, King James, and destroy the Nuwabics and the conscious community. This will be our treat to you tonight, premiering at 8 p.m. on this channel, A Gathering 144. Like, subscribe, and enjoy a blast from the past. All right? Enjoy it, my brothers and sisters, because I'm going to sit back and just reflect on those times and what the Most High had us go through in order to also appreciate where the Most High have taken this church, which is his church, the gathering of Christ. May the Most High be with you. Stay prayed up, sin not. Keep in mind the Most High is calling back Israel. And again, St. Louis, if you're ready, don't worry about it. My hands are in it. Call, email, stay at home and watch us and correspond with us while we set up a new building for you. There's nothing going on there, but we're coming. Shalom. 8 p.m., 30 minutes. Get your popcorn ready.
The Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, The first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy, you're invited.